Yo, welcome back to Eat, Sleep, Breathe, Hoops with your boy, Nikki P. Y'all know what it is. Y'all know what time it is. Look. Let me ask you something. Have you ever seen a 7'4" human being do a step back, side step three-pointer? You ever seen a man with an 8-foot wingspan guard the three-point line and sprint back to block a layup on the other end in the same possession? We're watching Victor Wemby, and right now, today as he stands, skinny legs, limitless confidence, he is arguably the best player in the NBA. Nah, not arguably. He is the best player in the NBA. The numbers say it. You don't even need to look at the numbers. You just got to watch him play. He kills. He plays with passion, and he does it big on both ends of the court. The eye test screams it out loud. But here's the terrifying truth that keeps coaches awake at night and opponents crying in the tunnel. The best player in the league can still get vastly better. We aren't talking about tiny tweaks. We're talking about unlocking a level of basketball that might make him the undisputed Mount Rushmore, 90s Jordan level of dominant. Let's dive into exactly how he could do that. The unfair pros, why he's already a nightmare. First, let's give him his just due for the great player he already is, even without getting any better at this point in time right now. We have to appreciate the weapon we're refining. The shooting, for his size, forget his size. He's just flat out a really good shooter, period. He has a high release point that nobody on earth can block. The jumper's fluid. It's not a, awkward looking form, doesn't have any hitches. It's just a fluid looking jumper. He shoots over centers like they're kids. The agility in the handle. He runs the floor like a deer on jet fuel. He gets up and down the court faster than most guards, and his handle, for a 7'4" guy to cross over a wing defender, that's illegal in 48 states. He has a really good handle. Let's just leave it at that. And he got that dog in him, the intangibles. This is the part the scouts miss. He's not soft. He's not what you would expect from a generic French player, no offense. He's not scared of contact. He has that dog in him, that Kobe-like mentality, that Michael Jordan type of killer instinct. He wants the last shot. He wants the block that demoralizes you. He plays with more passion and heart than anyone in the league on both ends of the floor. He cares about defense as much as a highlight dunk, and you see it in the play. You don't need to go to a stat sheet to find out. The defense, let's jump into it. My goodness, the defense, he's dominant. He can contest a step-back three on Steph Curry and then turn around and protect the rim like Kareem or Hakeem Olajuwon and Dwight Howard, all rolled into one. He erases your mistakes. So we have a 7'4" marksman with a guard's handle, a center's power, and a killer's mentality. And yet, let's dive into, some of the flaws and how we could get better. The habit of settling. Here's an improvement number one, the biggest, loudest, most frustrating part of his game right now. Sometimes he has a habit of settling. Because he's so skilled, so comfortable out there on the court, he falls in love with the familiar. And what's the familiar? The tough, contested step-back three. He dribbles into traffic, does a beautiful crossover, gets his defender off balance, and instead of driving the lane to get a dunk or pull up for a nice little easy mid-range shot, he steps back into the defense or closer near the defense behind the three just to get behind the three-point line and take a contested, tougher shot. Why? Because he can, and that's what he's used to practicing. So he needs to, I'm not going to say break that habit, but add more habits. Because he hits that shot 1,000 times in practice, but he could easily be getting a better look at times in the game. But Wemby, he's 7'4". You don't need to take those tough shots. You can take easy ones, man. You could be getting some of the easiest looks throughout the course of a game, even if you go get 25, 30 shots up. Right now, he hangs out on the perimeter with the mentality of a two-guard. He thinks he's Kobe on the wing, but Kobe was 6'6". When Kobe drove, he faced help. When Wemby drives, he faces prayers. If he simply lowers his shoulder and goes to the rack or pulls up for that unblockable mid-range jumper, he gets a better look 90% of the time. So we got to stop falling in love with the three just because it's flashy or just because it may be, instinct and habit for him now for practicing it for so long, since we're in a three-point heavy era. But if you can score from all over the court, more like a AI Jordan and Kobe, as opposed to being handcuffed behind three, no offense, but more like a Steph, you could just unlock another level of dominance. The great ones take the highest percentage shot that wins the game. Get to the nail, get to the elbow, get the mid-range look. Stop settling for outside tough threes. I mean, take them from time to time, of course, because you're a shooter, you can shoot. But yeah, use all the real estate throughout the game, and don't settle for don't make life easier for the defense by settling for those type of shots too much and too often. The passive problem in the weight room. Second improvement, his unselfishness, or his desire to not want to be selfish at times. This sounds backwards, but I mean, all the great ones know, and hear me out. Sometimes Wemby gets too passive. He starts overthinking. He thinks, hey, I need to get my teammates more involved. I need to share the ball. And in doing so, he actually becomes a detriment to his team. Here's the truth. When Wemby is aggressively looking for his own shot, when he's selfish, when he's hunting buckets, it puts so much pressure on the defense that the entire floor opens up. When he's aggressive, he's getting 2-3 defenders on him at a time. He's demanding the entire attention of the defense, similar to an AI, Kobe, or Jordan. And that just opens stuff for his teammates on the floor even more. Opens up wider open looks. Opens up, attacking the basket, following people's shot, and getting offensive rebounds, kicking it out for three or putting it up for a dunk. It just opens more opportunities when he's aggressive for his team as a whole than when he's trying to be passive and not looking to go get buckets, essentially. When he's dogmatic and has tunnel vision on getting to the rack and getting buckets, that makes his whole team better. It really does, as opposed to him trying to pass. When you're the best player, it makes your team better when you're playing like the best player and dominating out there. When he's passive, the defense breathes. When he's a killer, the defense collapses. And that's when the open looks happen. That's when the offensive rebounds happen, like we were just talking about. His aggression is the engine of that whole team. If he plays like a star, his team plays like a contender. If he plays like a role player, passing a hot potato, that's when they start losing games. The weight room. We saw it in that Thunder series against Isaiah Hartenstein, a good physical lunch pail center. And what happened? Wemby still played well, got good numbers overall, but there was times where you see him get bodied and bullied. He got moved off his spot. He got pushed out of the dunker spot. He got pushed outside to the perimeter. He doesn't need to be a bodybuilder. He doesn't need to be Shaq or David Robinson or Charles Oakley or Ben Wallace. But if he puts on 10 pounds of functional muscle, just 10 pounds, maybe 12, a little bit of that bullying, or maybe most of it, stops. He holds his own ground. He holds his position. He could battle with players like Hartenstein and a few of the other big centers scattered around the league. He doesn't get pushed under the rim. He becomes immovable, and that just adds another element to his game and improves his game. Right now, he's a Ferrari. With 10 more pounds of muscle, he becomes a tank with a Ferrari engine. The Jordan blueprint. If he puts all these things together consistently, man, if he stops settling, plays from the block a little bit more and the mid post a little bit more, as opposed to starting outside the three almost every possession. If he embraces aggressive selfishness and understands that that's what actually makes his team better and makes them reach their potential, and he adds 10 pounds of muscle, what does he become? In addition to what he already is and the game he already has, man, sky's the limit. He becomes head and shoulders above any player we've seen since Jordan. I mean, we put him on that Kobe Jordan type of pedestal. He becomes a statistical anomaly. And then if he's a player like that, in addition to being a defensive beast like some of the other players we mentioned earlier, it's going to be a rare breed that we probably won't ever see again. Jordan in the late 80s was the best scorer in the league, but he wasn't winning championships yet. He was putting up 37 points and losing because he just, had to carry the team and didn't have no players around him. Then he bought into this. Then Phil Jackson came along. They got some more players. They developed a triangle system. He got stronger. He hit the weight room, learned to trust his aggression at the right moments. I mean, then he just, things changed. They got Phil Jackson. They brought in some more players. And you put that around a talent like Jordan, you establish that triangle system. And that was all she wrote. This is Wemby's path. It was struggled his rookie year. He got some pieces around him. Those pieces are developing. He has a great coach that learned from one of the greatest coaches ever. We're talking about Greg Popovich and Mitch Johnson. 6 titles. Can Wemby get 6 titles? Shoot, man. If he gets one this year, he's off to a great start. One at 22. Man. And the league is yours. That's not far-fetched at all. A decade of absolute dominance? Absolutely. If he doesn't get complacent and if he can stay healthy, take care of his body. Complacency is the enemy. The moment he thinks, I'm the best, I've arrived, and he gets out of that mindset of becoming the best version of himself and trying to get better than the previous version of himself, even if he is already better than everybody else, that's when he loses. He needs to keep chasing that, almost like a cat chasing a ball of yarn. It's almost like a piece of yarn hanging up, and that's when you've arrived at your own game. But in all honesty, you never really grab it. Even if you become better than all your peers, you're battling yourself, and you never stop that desire to keep chasing that battle against yourself and becoming the best you could possibly be and better than you already are, regardless of how great you are. If Wemby stays in that mindset, man, the sky's the limit. So with all that said, we got Spurs in 6, man. They about to get the Knicks. It should be a decent series. Jalen Brunson gonna do his thing. Cat, he might have a good game or two. So let me summarize. Victor Wembanyama is a 7'4" unicorn who can shoot, dribble, defend, and has a killer instinct. But to beat Jordan, he got to get better shots. Stop settling for tough threes all the time. Take them time, keep shooting the 3. Don't abandon the 3. But take the easy 2 or the dunk or the free throw pull up or the 2 dribbles in off the glass. All that stuff is gonna be there all the time, especially when he's at 7'4" and has people biting on his pump fake outside the 3-point line. He got to continue to be aggressive and stop this unselfish nonsense. His scoring opens the game for everyone else, and he just needs to understand that. And just add some weight, add about 10 pounds of muscle so nobody pushes him around. If he does that, man, the NBA has a problem. And we got one of the all-time greats. We got his career playing out right before our eyes, similar to Patrick Mahomes in the NFL, man. So salute to Wemby, best player in the league. The sky is still the limit. And if he reaches that full potential, man, we're going to be talking about him along with Kobe and Jordan and Kareem. So with all that said, hop up in that comment section, hit that like button. Let's chop it up. What y'all think? What y'all think about Wemby's career so far? What do you think about the ways he can improve? Yeah, let's have a little discussion about it. And let's enjoy these finals. Spurs New York Knicks final series. And who you rocking with is Eat, Sleep, Breathe, Hoops. And until the next time, peace.